Hello and welcome to this video about the Omaha, Marblehead and Murmansk and how they compare to each other. Let's start right at the beginning with the Omaha, the base model. This is the Omaha as you can find it in the game, costing 1.5 million credits, and it's sitting at tier 5. It's a very nice ship. I've had great games in this one, but I don't own it anymore, and that's basically because I own the Murmansk and the Marblehead. From the Omaha, you can progress onto the Cleveland, and once you get to the Cleveland, well, that's just an epic ship, and a lot of people won't keep the Omaha just because of the Cleveland, which is such a great ship. But the Omaha is very different to it. It's got the same caliber of guns, and as you can see, it's kind of an older design with casemats here on the side, which gives it quite a strange way to play at some points, because firing, well, at this angle, you can fire these casemats and the turret, and sometimes, depending on the angle, you can fire the casemats, the guns from the casemats at the back as well. And if you turn it even more, you can start firing the gun turret at the back. They're all 152 millimeter guns, which do really well at tier 5. Most targets you'll be firing HE at, and only cruisers that are broadside on, or sometimes battleships, but you have to get to know them, which ones you can and cannot fire AP at. Well, you just fire AP at the targets that you know you can penetrate. But most of the time you'll be spamming HE a lot. And if you get closer, you can fire your torpedo tubes. It's got 2 double launchers on each side. One hidden away in the hull and one on top of the hull. The AA rating at the start isn't really good. It's only got 4 76.2 millimeter guns. Which do well, but it's not really special. And at tier 5 you do get carriers sometimes. Most of the time those carrier captains aren't really experienced, so you might be able to get away with this, but it might just be a better idea to upgrade it as soon as you can. Of course, you also get a fighter aircraft, which helps slightly in defending your own ship and defending others around you. If we look at the Marblehead and just hover over it, you can see the different statistics, and as you can see, there's the survivability of the Marblehead is slightly better than that of the Omaha. The artillery is 1 point better, so it is better, but not by much. Torpedoes are worse, and we'll just look into that, why that is, in just a second. The AA defense rating is exactly the same. It's actually got the same 4 76 millimeter guns. Maneuverability is slightly worse, and concealment is slightly better. But the concealment is only slightly better because of the camo that's on the Marblehead. As soon as you upgrade to hull B, the story gets to be very different. As you can see, every statistic apart from survivability, apart from artillery has changed. The survivability of the Omaha now is better by 4 points. It's still 1 point less than the Marblehead, but it's not a very big difference. Torpedoes actually became better, and why is that? Well, with this B hull, the double launchers get turned into triple launchers, so you get more torpedoes. So the torpedo rating is more than twice as good as the torpedo rating on the Marblehead. AA defense rating gets to be a lot better, and you can see it just gets some machine guns, and it gets some quadruple 28 millimeter guns. The 76 millimeter guns are actually removed. Maneuverability also is going to be a lot better with an improved rudder shift time. From here on you can also improve the guns, and once you do that, let's see, you can see the artillery rating changes to 38, so then the artillery rating becomes the same one as on the Marblehead. Next to improving the hull to hull B to increase a lot of ratings and getting the better guns, basically quicker firing guns, and they turn slightly slower, but it's not that much of an issue. So I would definitely go for these better guns. You can also improve the firing range by researching the gunfire control system. Once you have done that, the artillery rating is higher than the artillery rating from the Marblehead. After this one, a lot of people say don't research the sea hull because you get less torpedoes. And I can understand why they're saying that, because once you research the sea hull, you can see that the torpedoes actually, the torpedo rating goes back down again. And that's because these torpedoes around here in the hull, they're removed. So you only have the triple launchers on top of the deck. But every single other rating gets to be better. Even the artillery rating is going up because you get an increase in fire control system. Though you lose 2 turrets, and these 2 turrets, or casemats basically, they're removed. But you gain an extra, I think it was 2 kilometers in firing range. So it's definitely worth it. Because it means that you don't have to come that close to your enemy to do a lot of damage. You can just stay further away and fire from a greater distance, which is always better, because if they're firing back at you, you have more time to react to their fire. On top of that, the maneuverability gets a boost, and the AA defense rating gets another big boost. And that's because now you get a lot of 20 millimeters added. The 28 millimeters have been removed, the 12.7 millimeters have been removed, and it just gets 3 double 40 millimeters and 10 single 20 millimeters. Now it actually gets a very good defense AA defense rating. And if you compare the Omaha with the Sea Hull to the Marblehead, and as you can see, this is without the better guns, which will improve it by 1 point. And it's without the gunfire control system, which will improve it by another point. So the artillery rating would be 40 around now, but since I don't own the ship, so I can't show you that. So the survivability, the Marblehead is still 1 point better, but every single other rating at this point, the Omaha just is better than the Marblehead. So the only reason why you would get a Marblehead over an Omaha is because you really like the American cruisers, you like the Omaha, and you really want a ship at tier 5 to help you gain some extra credits or train your captain. Because in my opinion, there's not really a different reason to get the Marblehead. There's just better options out there. As you can see, the Marblehead, it does look nice. It's got a nice camo job, but it only has the 2 triple torpedo launchers here. It doesn't have a big AA defense, only these 76 millimeter guns, and the torpedoes are actually really bad. They do have an 8.2 kilometer range, which is good, and it does have a very quick reload compared to the Omaha, only 38 seconds. But then it only does 6,000 damage, and as you can see on the Omaha, well, where did we put that? Here. On the Omaha, the torpedoes do about, well, close to twice the amount of damage that you can do with the torpedoes on the Marblehead. So once you are going to use the torpedoes, the Omaha is just going to be a lot better choice than the Marblehead. Now we come to the Murmansk, and as you can see, the Murmansk has got the same survivability rating. It's actually exactly the same ship class. And historically this is correct as well, because the Murmansk was an Omaha class cruiser that was loaned to the USSR by the USA for some time after the Second World War, or in the later stages of the Second World War. So as you can see, the survivability rating is exactly the same. The artillery rating, please keep in mind that, you know, with the better guns and the better gunfire control system on the Omaha, it does increase by another 2 points. So there's actually an 8-point difference in between the artillery rating for the Murmansk and the Omaha. I haven't been able to find out what um, causes that difference, because the firing range is the same. The damage with HE and AP is the same. The reload time is the same. The turret rotation speed is the same, and dispersion is the same. So I haven't been able to find out what the difference is between the two. Um, so I might have to come back to that later, and if I at some point find out. Torpedoes are slightly better. Basically, you get the same torpedo configuration, so two triple launchers, but the torpedoes that the Russians have on their ships are better. They've got a slightly better range and do more damage as well. AA defense rating is about the same. It's comparable, 27 versus 28. Maneuverability is about the same. Russian is a little better, and concealment is a little better as well on the Murmansk, but that's mainly because of the camo on the ship. So you could mount some camo on the Omaha, and then it would only be 1 point difference. Um, so that's just a very quick video about these three ships. And my conclusion basically is that if you really like the Omaha and you would like a lower tier premium ship that will help you grind some credits to progress up the tiers, and you think that the Omaha might be a ship for you because it's a very versatile and a very nice ship. You can do a lot of different roles with it. You can sometimes play it as a destroyer, as an American destroyer, hiding behind an island, laying an ambush, and firing torpedoes at something that comes around the corner and just taking it out. But you can also be a very good supporting cruiser with your AA suite, which is on the ship, and just spamming targets with high explosive shells. Make sure that you keep the enemy ships lit. Well, if you really think that the Omaha is a ship for you, then I would advise you to get the Murmansk over the Marblehead anytime, unless you really want to train your American cruiser captain, and you don't have the money to purchase the other premium cruisers in the American tech tree. But I wouldn't buy the Marblehead for any other reason. It's just the ship lacks on every single area compared to the Omaha. I think it would even be better to use the Omaha as a credit grinder than its premium American version, the Marblehead, because the Omaha is basically just a better ship. So you will do better in the ship, and of course you don't get the credit bonus, but since the credits that you earn and the experience that you earn is linked to how you have performed in that battle. And since you haven't performed really well in the in the Marblehead, compared to how you have performed in the Omaha, I wouldn't go for the Marblehead. But that's just my thoughts. I've decided not to put a replay in this video. First of all, to keep it really short and nice, and second, because I've got several Murmansk replays on my channel. So please check them out, and well, I'll see you next time.